Okay guys, so what if there was a plan out there to follow that would get you a 5k a month appointment setting role in just 30 days, right? Well, this is exactly that. I'm going to run you through how to land 3k minimum to 5k a month setting roles, even as a complete beginner. Now, don't just say that lightly. I've done that myself. A bit of a backstory on myself. I've been in the appointment setting space for 2 years. I've worked with Charlie Morgan and William Brown. I've generated $1.2 million in revenue and seen well over 6 figures of that for myself. So I'm now going to run you through how I've landed roles as good as that. Okay, because I've landed roles that have been paying me these sums of money that I'm going to show you in this video. So follow this to a T, and I promise you, like if you just do what I tell you, there's no reason you can't make appointment setting work. Okay, so this is the masterclass on how to land 3 to 5k a month setting roles. Okay, so first off, it's much easier than you think. I want to break that down for you right now. Much easier than you think. Stop thinking of it as this big, be all end all task. It's really not that hard, and you're going to understand why in this video. Okay, so and also a little bit of a disclaimer, I've left you a surprise in this video. You're going to have to watch the full thing to see when it is, but you're really going to like it. Okay, it's really going to help you out and really going to help you land your dream role. Okay, so a quick reality check. Number one is volume negates luck. Okay, so stop applying to 7 roles and then giving up. I speak to a lot of appointment setters, a lot of people trying to start out in the space that apply to 7, 8, 9, 10 roles, and then they go, oh, I can't find anything good, I didn't get any responses, it doesn't work, and then they go back to work in their 9 to 5 and try other models. No, volume negates luck. Okay, just volume. It's a rule of thumb. Just keep sending out applications, right? Reach out to 30 new people / jobs per day minimum. Okay, so like I said, volume negates luck. Please don't send 10 applications and then get discouraged. You need to be doing 30 minimum per day of job roles and people. In fact, I'd even do 30 new people and 30 job roles per day. Just as much as you can, but a rule of thumb, 30 per day minimum. Okay, so just really scale it up and just don't stop. Okay, the way you got to think of it is, if you wanted to land a 9 to 5 role and you needed to get paid this month fast, right, you wouldn't just apply to 7 roles and go, oh, I guess I'm not going to work a job anymore. No, you'd keep going. Okay, it's no different with this, right? So number 3 is Facebook groups still work. Right, it's a very common belief that in the appointment setting realm, applying to Facebook, group job posts doesn't work. Well, yes, they do. Do you know why I know that? Because I've landed roles very good myself through Facebook group job posts, and I've also helped several other people land roles through Facebook groups. Right. What's wrong with Facebook group job posts is, yes, they're saturated, but they're saturated with crap. Nobody knows what they're doing. So when you know what to do, it's easy, okay? Just like most things. And number 4 is cold outreach still works. There's also another belief that spamming people in their DMs, doesn't work. Just sending out loads of cold outreach DMs doesn't work. Yes, it does. Again, you're just not doing it wrong and you're not doing enough of it, okay? So just get these limiting beliefs out of your head before we start. That is a reality check before we get started, okay? So number 1, the first category that I want to cover is cold outreach. So this is reaching out to people that are not specifically looking for a setter, not specifically expecting your message. You're just reaching out to them to try and pitch yourself as an appointment setter, okay? So number 1 is decide your market, okay? This is really important. So pick one of the big 3, I like to call it, which is health, wealth, and relationships, okay? Let me give you some examples. So number 1, fitness coaching, right? That'd be in the health sector. Business coaching, that's obviously wealth. And then relationship coaching would be relationships, of course, okay? So this can go even further. So for example, within the health market, you can go even deeper and do gut health coaching. You could do 6-pack coaching. You could do joint health coaching, recovery coaching, sleep coaching. You get the point. Anything to do with health, right? Those are just like sub niches, sub markets within the whole sector, right? And then we've got crypto. That could be another one. For example, with wealth, you've got crypto coaching, investment coaching, stock coaching. You get the point. Just like going a little bit deeper. And then cold approach. If you don't know what that means, it means basically going up to people in the street and trying to talk to them and like build relationships that way. Get you see those people online that go around walking around shopping malls trying to get girls' numbers. That's called cold approach. There's people that probably sell programs on how to cold approach, right? If you're into that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, that's just going a bit deeper. So it has to be a large pain point shared by a large number of the population. It's really important, okay? People buy in a state of pain. Really important to understand. The bigger the pain point, the larger the price, okay? And the likelihood of the sale. So nobody's going to pay for something. Nobody's going to pay a high figure fee for something that isn't a big enough pain point for them to solve, okay? So nobody's going to pay you 10 grand. Nobody's going to pay, let's say you're on an offer that sells a 10 grand product on how to draw pictures of cats not being funny, there's not really a big enough pain point to justify a 10k price point. Okay, so because that's such a low pain point being solved, right, then you can't really charge a lot for it. And if that person is selling that offer and they're, obviously getting clients for it, they're not getting clients for a big amount of money, because again, it's not a big pain point, so that means you're not going to get paid much as a result. The bigger the ticket price of the offer that you're on, the more money that you can get paid. Okay, the more resource they have available to give you for your structure. Okay, so again, bigger the pain point, the larger the price point. So when you're in the big three, when you're in health, wealth, and relationships, and you're deciding your market, think what's got the biggest pain point and what can people charge the most amount of money for, and do some research on these offers. For example, if you want to get into business coaching, do some research on people that sell business coaching, learn what their kind of offers are, learn how much they're selling it for, learn how much setters are being paid on these offers. Just do some due diligence. Don't just jump into the appointment setting model and then just try and land a role. No, do some due diligence, right? Decide your market. If you want to make money and land a role fast, by the way, go market wide. And what I mean by that is, so when you're in the big three, you could do, for example, fitness coaching, business coaching, relationship coaching. You could do those, but you won't be doing something specific like gut health coaching. You will do fitness coaching in general. So it could be you could be looking for fitness coaching offers, and it could be gut health, sleep, joint recovery, pain, whatever, all of this stuff. You can get into either one of these, niches, because it's in the whole fitness sector. Okay, so if you want to land a role quick, instead of being specific and going for gut health coaching, just decide you want it to be within fitness, and then go for either one of these. You could go gut health, lose weight, six pack, joint health, sleep, any of that kind of stuff. But as long as the kind of underlying goal is health and fitness, then you're fine, because it's in the big three. Okay, so if you want to make money fast and land a role fast, these are much more common to find, because it's such a big market. All right, so go market wide and go, for example, like I said, fitness coaching is a huge market, hundreds of coaching offers. Like I said here, gut health, joint pain, sleep, nutrition, you get the point. If you choose fitness coaching as a whole, you have several opportunities to land roles and offers. Okay, but saying that, if you're looking for long-term leverage and success, pick a sub niche and stick to that only. Right, so this makes you elite in your field and gives you so much more leverage long-term to command higher payment structures and take you further in your career. Okay, so this would be something if you want to be even more specific, this is kind of what I recommend down the line after you've got a bit of setting experience. For example, let's say I got into business coaching and I did crypto, I did stocks, I did investment, I did real estate. Well, I'd pick one of them that I'm very good at, and then just kind of go even harder on that specific sub niche within the market, right? So just kind of keep that in your mind. If you want to make money fast and go market wide, just go for all kind of roles of fitness, all kind of roles of business, relationships. But if you want to kind of solidify your legacy, so to speak, long term, then pick one specific, something like gut health or crypto. You get the point. Just really specific, because that's the way you gain the most leverage. Okay, just think of it this way. This is the best way for me to put it. Would you rather get a kidney transplant from a generalist surgeon or a kidney transplant specialist? Well, you wouldn't want to get a kidney transplant from someone who's just a generalist surgeon and kind of does a wide range of everything, right? You'd rather do it from a kidney transplant specialist, because they do it every single day and they know it at the back of the hand. It's the same thing. Okay, so yeah, that's for deciding a market. Number 2 for cold outreach is to find outlier platforms and create 2 accounts for each, right? So establish where the business owners are in your market and where they hang out the most often. Okay, so it's really important that we understand where our prospects hang out the most. If we message them on Facebook, but they don't use Facebook, right, very often, then we're wasting our time, because they're not going to see our message, right? So we need to find the platforms they're most active on, so we can contact them and get in front of their line of sight. So create 2 accounts for each platform. Once we've established the platforms our prospects hang out on the most frequently, we need to create 2 accounts for each platform. So for example, if we decided that Facebook and Instagram are the most frequent for our market that we picked, let's say we're targeting business coaches, we've established they're on Instagram and Facebook the most, and what we're going to do is we're going to create 4 accounts total, 2 for each platform, I should have said there, right? So 2 accounts for each platform. So 2 for Facebook, 2 for Instagram. If they're on LinkedIn as well, 2 for LinkedIn, and then you have 6 accounts total, okay? The reason why we create 2 accounts is for a few reasons. So first of all, these platforms weren't built for cold outreach, so we can't send thousands of messages per day, unfortunately, right? For example, Instagram, they're very cautious of spam messages. They see if you're sending hundreds of messages per day per account, they're going to mark you as spam and then ban your account. Okay, so we'll get banned immediately if you're doing this. We need at least 2 accounts to diversify the amount of messages we're sending to protect our account health, okay? And also, in case one gets banned, we can always go to the other one, okay, until we get the other one back up and running, or we create a new one in the process, okay? So 2 accounts is the hygiene standard, to be honest. The more the better. Again, you can diversify your outreach attempts. For example, if you've established like account limits, I need to make a separate video on this, but roughly, like, I'd say 15 to 30, around that range per account. Again, if you want to send like 100 per day, then create 3 to 4 accounts and do like 15 to 30 on each, right? So you get the point. It's like you need to do this to kind of like keep yourself safe. And if one of your accounts gets banned, it doesn't matter. It's not going to stop you from doing your outreach because you have several other accounts to use as well. So it's kind of just keeping a backup in that sense as well, right? So yeah, that's finding the outlier platforms and creating your accounts. Create your pitch script, okay? So the first point I want to make for this is, guys, you have to send personalized videos and voice notes as much as you can, okay? Like, text-based pitches aren't enough anymore. I know you see them all the time. I know it's what everyone does, but you really need to stand out, okay? This is one of the reasons why you're getting ignored, is because you look like everybody else, okay? So the only exception for sending a text-based pitch instead is if the platform doesn't allow it. Sometimes on Instagram, when you go to message someone, there's like an invite connect thing where you literally have to send a text, and then if they accept the invite, you can then send a voice note and a pitch or whatever. Like, that's the only time I'd ever recommend to do a text-based pitch, okay? So personalized videos and voice notes include you recording yourself, clearly saying their name and giving them a compliment as an icebreaker. So what you do is you pick up the phone, you say, "Hey James, how's it going? Aiden here," right? And then you're going to say like a personalized line. "I saw you running the London Marathon this year. I actually just signed up myself. Maybe I'll see you there. Ha ha ha," right? An icebreaker like that just came up with that off the top of my head, right? And then we're going to go straight into how you can help, okay? So explain to them who you are and what you can do for them. You're an appointment setter that's going to remove the biggest bottleneck in their business and take 10 times more calls with prospects that are actually likely to close. Now, a pro tip, right, for your pitch when you're saying this, right, what we need to do is write it out on a Google Doc, memorize it, and for the how you can help section, I strongly recommend to not really just say about how you're going to book calls, but how you're going to get them closed clients. You're going to get them more cash, right? They don't care about calls in the calendar, guys, right? An appointment setter is great, but you have to understand their whole motive is to scale the business. Their whole motive is to get more clients, get more cash, right? So you need to tell them, look, I'm going to remove the biggest bottleneck in your business, stopping you from making more cash, right? There's so much money, like so much potential in your social media that you're not utilizing, and I'm going to get it all out for you. I'm going to make you so much money, and then we'll get into it in a second, like, and you're only going to pay me if I get results, okay? We'll get into that in a second. So after you've explained how you can help, what you're going to do, so I'm going to remove your biggest bottleneck, book you a ton of appointments with calls that actually like to close, or I'm going to qualify them and put in your calendar. You're going to leverage your authority, right? So if you have any previous appointment setting experience or sales experience in general, milk it as much as you can, okay? Stating your authority will massively increase your perceived value in the prospect's eyes. Now, if you don't have any experience, right, I want you guys to comment down below if you want me to make a separate video running you through exactly how to get around this if you have no experience, okay? It's quite easy, but it's quite hard to explain, okay? So guys, if you want to learn exactly how to do that, just comment down below in the comment section and I'll make a full masterclass on how to land roles without any experience, because I've done it myself. I first landed my first ever 5K a month role without any experience, okay? So it is very possible. If you want to see a masterclass on how to do that, just comment down below. But yeah, leverage your authority if applicable, okay? If it's applicable, if you have any sales experience, if you have anything that you can relate to sales, cool. If you've done customer service at like a, you know, I don't know, like a cold calling center or whatever you've done, you get the point. Any kind of sales experience, anything sales related, right, you can put in there, okay? So just like as much leverage as you can. I've actually worked previously with X, I generated XYZ, you get the point. Just like leverage your authority straight away after this. And again, if you don't have any, just comment down below and I'll make a masterclass running with you how to overcome it, because it'll be a bit too long to put in this video because it's quite long to explain, but it's also very easy to do, if that makes sense, okay? So just comment down below. Then we're going to go straight into risk reversal. So highlight how risk-free it is for the prospect. For example, I work pay on results. I work only if I get calls in the calendar. That's the only time I get paid. You're going to get these warm leads that want to buy, and I'm only going to get paid if they actually show up for the call, for example, okay? So business owners love value and they hate expenses, okay? So if you show them, you'll give them value with no risk, then Bob's your uncle, right? Like these guys, they want results and they want to keep their margins as low as possible. You need to understand what business owners are like as a whole, okay? These guys hate spending money if they don't have to, and they're always focusing on how to remove bottlenecks, okay? So if you tell them, I'm going to remove your biggest bottleneck in your company, right, and you're only going to pay me if I get the result. If I remove the bottleneck, that's the only time I get paid, it's a no-brainer, okay? Especially if you have authority to leverage. And again, I can make a separate video on that as well. My mouse is broken, right? Next, we're going to the CTA, which is the call to action. Okay, so prompt your prospect to respond to your video with a thumbs up, for example, right? And give them an incentive to reply. So as you've gone through the rest of the script there, okay, in your personalized video, as you're saying it, I want you guys to then go, look, if you're interested in learning a bit more, or if you want to have a chat, just drop me a thumbs up and we can book a time in. Just drop me a thumbs up and I can send over more information. Send me a thumbs up and we can chat further, okay? It's really important as well, just a side note, with this personalized video, you cannot be robotic, guys. You have to say their name, you have to give them a personalized compliment, you have to say this script really smoothly. Yes, you can copy and paste it basically, like just by saying it video by video, but you have to be confident on camera, okay? And that's not hard to do. It takes like 50 attempts, right, of you just going, like just doing your personalized video to get comfortable, okay? Move around, break eye contact often, right? And just don't be robotic, guys. Have like a mature background, look well presented. Don't be like, don't have like loads of gel styled hair back and makeup on or earrings. Like, you get the point, okay? So just look presentable. Like, you got to think, what do these guys want to see? They want to see value, and like they want to see you looking presentable, because they're not going to want to hire someone that looks like a slob, respectfully, okay? So just a quick side note. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the pitch script. If you want to go to Google, like a Google Doc or on your notes tab, and just like write out your exact script following these frameworks and then memorize it, you can then just copy and paste it into every video that you do. Just remember the little notes I gave you there on how to make that video good. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Super important. Has to be a personalized video, has to be a voice note. If not, you can do it in text-based pitch. If you do that in a text-based pitch, try and keep it as short as you can. You can ask ChatGPT to help you out here. Again, you can fill out the the pitch on a Google Doc and then ask ChatGPT, how can I make this shorter? How can I make this more straight to the point? Covering the same points I've given you here, right? And yeah, there you go, you're sorted, okay? That's just the pitch script. Next, we're gonna follow the 30 by 30 rule, okay? So reach out to 30 new people per day and 30 new roles per day for 30 days, okay? So as I said at the start of this video, volume negates luck. Follow this framework for 30 days and tell me you don't get results, right? So if you apply to 30 new roles per day, you message 30 new people per day, you do that for 30 days straight, tell me you don't land a couple of interviews, and from those interviews, tell me you don't get hired, right? And again, if you guys want to see a video on how to pass interviews, I can make that too, but off topic. 30 by 30, 30 new people, 30 new roles for 30 days. I don't want to hear any excuses. It doesn't take that long to do. It's a couple hours a day. Everyone has a couple hours a day free, and if you guys want to make 5K a month online, this is what you're going to have to do, right? You can't just like click your fingers and now I'm on appointment set to making 5K a month. No, you're going to have to put a little bit of work in, guys. And that's how you do it. Follow the 30 by 30 rule, right? Now, omni-channel follow-ups, okay? So follow up everywhere. Once you've actually like pitched someone, you've applied to a job post, once you got your foot in the door and engaging in conversation, for example, follow up with them on every single platform you can find until you get an interview, until you land a role, until you get the result you're trying to get, okay? So if you can find them on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, email, phone number, home address, I'm joking. You get the point. Everything you can find them on, contact them, okay? Because these guys, they want to see initiative and an appointment setter. And if you're going that far to get their attention, they're going to think, oh, if he's that persistent with me about getting a role, what's he going to be like on the role? He's going to be the same thing. He's going to be persistent and he's going to want to book calls. That's what I want to see in a setter, okay? So yeah, super important. Follow up every single platform you can find. Really, really, really important. That's a lot of the reason why you guys don't win, is because you just comment setter on a job post and then DM them saying something, I'm interested, right, with a terrible looking profile, right? Again, like, you need your profiles to look mature and presentable. The reason why you're not getting any responses is because you're not doing yourself a favor, guys, okay? And then you say that appointment setting doesn't work. It's disrespectful to the model. Don't do that when you're not doing it right. Don't then go and slag off the model saying it doesn't work. You're just doing it wrong, guys. I'm promising you this works if you do it right, okay? And this is how you do it. So omni-channel follow-ups, follow up everywhere. The next point is track your metrics like your life depends on it, okay? So build a tracking sheet to keep on top of your efforts. So it's super, super important. We need to track all of our outreach attempts, also all of our positive replies, interviews booked, and roles landed, okay? So without a tracking sheet, you're going in blind and literally leaving money on the table, okay? So without knowing who you've messaged, right, without tracking it, you don't know who to follow up with. And as a result, you may be leaving opportunities on the table. I cannot type here, clearly, right? Most positive replies don't come from the first message, okay? You have to understand with like following up and tracking your leads, if you're messaging like 90 people per day or 100 people per day, if you don't have a sheet, you're not going to remember who you messaged. You're not going to have their profile link to go and message them again. Okay, so you need to track it on a sheet, because a lot of the money comes in follow-ups here. Okay, especially from cold outreach. So you need to follow up as much as you can on every single platform and keep a tracking sheet so you know where to go and message them again. Okay, so yeah, most positive replies don't come for the first message, and if you don't have a tracking sheet, you're leaving money on the table. Okay, so if you want a tracking sheet that I use personally to land a 5K a month role, okay, and also helped several of my clients to land it, what I want you to do is message me on Instagram for my 5K a month tracking sheet. So follow and DM me the keyword sheet, okay, at AidenKBiz on Instagram, and I'll send you the tracking sheet that landed me a 5K a month role in just 3 weeks. Okay, so that is AidenKBiz on Instagram. You can find the link in the description of my video here. You can also find it in the description of my channel. Message me, follow me on Instagram, and DM me sheet, and I'll send it over for you guys. Okay, so this sheet honestly is responsible for all of my success in appointment setting, and you will fail without it. I promise you. If you're messaging 100 people per day and you're not tracking it correctly, you could be leaving 5K a month roles on the table left, right, and center. Okay, so you need this. So you can build it yourself. You can create your own. It takes a bit of time to do it properly. When you guys, as a beginner, respectfully, you probably don't know what to include. So if that's the case, just DM me for it, and I'll save you so much time trying to figure it out for yourself. Okay, so the difference between using a sheet and not using a sheet is night and day. This one change alone might be the fix that you need. Okay, like for example, you guys may be doing a lot of outreach attempts, but you're not tracking it correctly. You're not, following up correctly. This sheet will fix it for you. Okay, so DM me on Instagram for it, and I'll send it over. So that is cold outreach. That is how to land roles with cold outreach. That's a macro overview. For job post specifically, the first one we want to do is vet the offer and job post. Okay, so you're going to get a lot of roles that come up. A lot of them aren't going to be very good. Okay, this is why people kind of have like a bad connotation when they think of Facebook group job posts. It's because, yeah, I agree, there is a lot of crap out there, but there is some gold, there is some diamonds in the rough as well. Okay, so we're going to vet the offer and job post when we find it. So we're going to understand what's true and false. Some roles are fake, some are scams. You need to know the difference. I can make a new video again in depth on this topic if you want, but the rule of thumb is, number one, find them on other platforms to see the person and the business is legit. For example, if you've got Steve Jones that's posting a fitness coaching offer and he's telling you can make 5K a month on track earnings, okay, what we're going to do is we're not going to take his word for it just yet. We're going to go and look him up on Google and Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook and everywhere, right? Steve Jones fitness coaching offer. We're going to see his business, right? And if he's legit, he'll come up. You'll be able to see his business. You'll be able to click on his website. You'll be able to see his client reviews. You can do a bit of background on him. You can even look up his company if you want on Company's House, see how long that's been going on for. You can go that granular if you want. I'd recommend it if you've got the time, okay? But like, just find them on other platforms to see the person and business legit. If somebody like Steve Jones, like he's got a black profile picture and he's saying you can make 10K a month in your first month and you can't find anything about the company online, or you can't find them elsewhere on Google, then I wouldn't say to apply to it, okay? Number two is make sure the OTE, so the on-track earnings, is realistic. So background check on the company, this is going to come from doing this, right? So if they're saying 5K a month, right, and their business has been running for like 1 month, they've got 3 testimonials, they got 100 followers on Instagram, and they're just starting out and they're saying you can make 10 grand a month, then you can't, okay? Realistically, like, you need to be careful with on-track earnings, guys, when they tell you can make 5 to 10K a month. They say that a lot of the time. Some people say OTE, and it means, what OTE means in some people's eyes is if you can hit our impossible targets, you can make this much money, okay? So an OTE could be, you could hit 10K a month OTE, but the OTE is, can you make 1 million cold calls a day and close 1 million of your dials? Like, sometimes they give you impossible requirements, so take it with a pinch of salt, okay? Because a lot of companies like to say that, try and get free work out of you, okay? So after a few applications, my God, guys, I cannot type. After a few applications, you'll be able to vet roles in seconds just by looking at the posts. So you'll go through like 50 posts, right? And you would have vetted them. You'll be able to kind of see patterns with what actually looks like a good role after the first 5-10 seconds of looking at it, and what's a bad role and what's a scam, okay? And then what I want you to do, guys, is just rinse and repeat, okay? Just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Filter out the bad ones, apply to the good ones, and follow up everywhere, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it for job posts. And then after that, after you vet the job offer and post on these Facebook groups, I want you to follow points 2 and 5 above, okay? 2 through 5. So rinse and repeat for every job post you apply to. Follow the same process as above. Create your accounts to diversify volume. Create your pitch script. Slightly adjust it for the job post as it's not cold. So you will have to make a separate script if you're applying to a job post, because these guys are expecting a message. The difference between the cold outreach and the job post is these guys aren't expecting to message them. It's completely cold. This one, they are expecting applicants because they posted the job post. You have to adjust it slightly, okay? But you can still follow the exact same model, but kind of change the wording slightly because they are expecting you to message, right? And then on top of that, follow the 30 by 30 rule. So 30 people per day, 30 roles per day for 30 days straight, and then tell me that you don't get results, okay? And then after that, you're going to follow up everywhere on every single platform you can find them on, okay? And track you like your life depends on it. Again, if you want that sheet, that landed me a 5K month role in 3 weeks, right? And is landing my clients really good roles in a short amount of time. And DM on Instagram, AidenKBiz, link in the description, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Run this system for 30 days and tell me that you don't get results. Please try it. Run the system for 30 days, following the 30 by 30 rule, and tell me you haven't landed a role. Okay, you'll realize that what I'm saying here is true, that volume negates luck and is much easier than you think. And if you follow this to a T, this is how you land 3 to 5K a month setting roles. Now, this is just like a rough overview of how to do it. I do go much deeper than this, right? And if you want my exact playbook, my exact strategy, and you want me to hold your hand to make sure that you land one of these roles really, really easily and really fast and not make any of the mistakes that you're currently making right now, there's going to be a link down below in the description. Full transparency. It's designed to try and sell you something. It's designed to try and get you to book a call so I can close you and I can bring you on as a client, okay? But listen, if you're not serious about making this work and you want to carry on making the same mistakes, don't book it. But if you don't care and you understand like you need to be coached on this, you need to have me holding your hand, then booking a call and running through how I can help and how I can get you to where I got to with appointment setting much faster without any mistakes that I made, okay? So yeah, if you want to book in that call, great. If not, no worries, but the link is there. The choice is yours. See you soon.